Hey guys, Christine here from Portable Entrepreneur. Let's talk lead generation. This is always a hot topic that everyone wants to hear about because we all want to know how in the world can we get the next client. So that's what I want to talk about a little bit here, because getting a new client or getting a new lead in doesn't have to be as hard as we often make it out to be. So more specifically, today I want to look at with you 3 opportunities that allow you to work on lead generation, but to be able to get in front of a lot of leads at the exact same time. This way, you're not having to go out and start to source leads and reach out one by one, which can be very tedious, very time consuming, quite boring to do if we're being honest here. So let's look at 3 of these opportunities that allow you to do something one time, but when done right, walk away with a lot of leads that you can pull from. Now, the first opportunity is to either participate or host a virtual event. So this works really well, again, once you know who you really want to get in front of, because that way you can really target your messaging appropriately. You can make sure that what you were talking about is right in line with the type of client that you want to serve. So you got to know that really before you go into any lead generation strategy. But this really is allowing you, if you decide to host a virtual event, pull together different topics and different experts to talk about the problems that your ideal clients really face and talk about potential solutions to them. But as the host, that really helps you build up a tremendous amount of trust, and it allows those leads to come into you after that. And you have everyone's contact information, and there's a lot of creative ways that you can follow up afterwards. Now, the same thing if you are participating in the virtual event and someone has asked you to join, or you've reached out about the opportunity to participate. That this is a great way that once you talk about your expertise, to be able to get in front of the specific people who are really most interested in hearing what you have to say. And for those who are really impressed and want to know more or potentially reach out to you, then you'll be able to give them away and they will reach out to you. Now, the second opportunity is really to, again, create or participate in, but preferably for this one, to create a group. Now, what I would recommend is a Facebook group for many audiences. Not everyone is going to have an audience that is on Facebook, so it depends, again, on who you are targeting. But as the owner of a Facebook group, this really allows you a tremendous amount of control. You are able to select the topics that are discussed there. You are able to follow up with anyone. You are able to manage the conversations. You are also able to point people to your website or to resources that you have, and you can build up some expertise there. That is going to allow you to, when you have an opening, you have a new offer, to present it right there in front of the group. Let's say you have a brand new group and you only have 9 people in there. Well, now compared to a group that has 100,000 members, well, that's not much. But that is 9 potential leads for your business. And even if you can walk away with just 1 or 2 of those becoming your client, that is well worth it, while of course you continue to build up that group. Now, the third is a podcast. Like the others, you can participate in a podcast. You can be a guest on a podcast show, or you can actually host a podcast yourself. Now, this really depends on who you are serving, but there are podcasts specifically for certain types of business owners, and everything is discussed around their problems, the solutions that they're looking for, how they can grow their business, and when they have trouble, well, guess who they're going to turn to for more information. Now, this is the same thing if you don't want to go through the hassle, you don't want to commit to something long-term like that. Simply finding some particular podcasts that are relevant to, again, the type of client you would like to have, and participating as a guest. So you record 1 show with the podcast host. You're able to discuss your topic, what you are really knowledgeable about, and you're able to then send people from that podcast back to your website or an opt-in that you have so you can start connecting with them. Now, some of these I really like because these are really evergreen strategies. So for some of these, not necessarily the virtual event, but more so like a Facebook group and a podcast episode, this is something that once you do, this is just going to continue to work for you time and time again. So if you have a podcast episode that you record and now it's been 9 months, a year later, well, people can still go back and listen to that, and that can still send you leads. So you see, sometimes doing some of the things, and even if they make us step outside of our comfort zone a little bit, well, in the end, they really can do a tremendous amount for our business and can be a source of recurring leads for us. So these are just a few ideas of how you can really look at some lead generation sources that are going to produce ongoing leads for you, some of which can even be evergreen, but most importantly, they're helping you get in front of a lot of leads at the same time, so you don't have to put in as much effort to get the same results. Found this video helpful, please give it a thumbs up, subscribe to the channel for more videos like this, and I'll catch you in the next one.